like, like you are the guest house. Just like, your whole being is like the guest house. All the experience, no matter what, good experience, bad experience, pleasant experience, unpleasant experience, neutral experience, everything is just a guest. And you are there creating this space. And you make this space. And that is the concept behind the Tonglen. Before we understand, before we understand what Tonglen meditation is, the purpose of the Tonglen meditation is to connect with the suffering, to connect, to accept the suffering. If we cannot accept the suffering, if we cannot, we cannot connect with the suffering, a Tonglen meditation is an overwhelming practice, right? Just to see how the Tonglen meditation is. Tonglen meditation needs a big acceptance. So it is like people do many Tonglen meditation. People kind of practice Tonglen meditation and then they breathe in all the negativity and suffering and all this stuff. But when it comes to your own life, you don't even welcome your own suffering. You don't even welcome your own negativity. Then how are you gonna receive all the suffering of the world, right? First here, the Tonglen meditation. If this person, the person who is practicing Tonglen meditation, is accepting suffering person, practitioner, then Tonglen meditation fits very well there. Then it is just the same. I accept all my suffering and I accept everybody's suffering. It is not like, that. So that is why before we built the Tonglen meditation, what philosophy, what practice we need, what attitude, I think that is the right word. Like what attitude needed as a practitioner. The attitude of the practitioner of the Tonglen is like that. You are welcoming kind of person. Welcoming, very welcoming, just sort of like you're not fighting or you're not avoiding, just very good host. Just welcome and everything just come, you take it in with a great love. And when we do with this attitude, when we build our Tonglen practice on that foundation, then what happens is we become the alchemist of suffering. Because when you take in, with that attitude, if you take in the whole suffering and the negativity of the whole world, what happens is you take it in, transform it, and then you give up. You give away, you give away the positive. So that is the main practice of the Tonglen. So Tonglen is mainly like we become like the alchemy vehicle, sort of like alchemy sourced, right? Like everything just comes in and we become the machine that transform everything. And we breathe in the whole suffering. We breathe in the whole suffering and then transform it, sort of like recycle it. Recycle it and then give it, give the positivity out. Okay, this is the Tonglen traditional practice that we do. So before we do this practice, there is a different level of Tonglen meditation. With that attitude, first, we already talked about the attitude, right? And with that attitude, if the first stage of practicing the Tonglen is when you see the other people suffering, yourself suffering, right? And mainly, we don't experience what other people experience, right? It is like everybody, my experience is my individual experience. Nobody experiences what I experience, right? But when we suffer, when we have a suffering, when we have a pain, like either it is a physical pain or emotional pain or anything, what our mind does. What our mind does is, our mind think that nobody is experiencing same like this. I am the only person in the whole world. I think that is, we take that, like, because our attitude is pretty much like that in the world. Because we only understand, we know only our own experience. We don't know the other people's experience. And all the things that maybe we think those are experiencing is just an assumption, right? We assume what other people are going through. But only thing we know is we know our experience. When we feel happy, we know. When we feel suffering, we know. So basically, our ego-oriented mind tend to think that I am the only one in the whole universe. Right? It is like, I am the center of the universe. That is how we think. So it, like, when we are suffering, that which it does, like, it just kind of, it narrows down our mind. It narrows down our mind and thinking that, poor me, I am the only person who is suffering. I'm the only person who has this negativity. And you shut down your wisdom eyes. You don't see anything. Only you. And this whole kind of you, just kind of like you totally dissolve into this situation. That suffering situation, totally. And your life is this now. Your whole life is this. You don't see anything. And in that moment, then your suffering become big. Because you only see this only, right? So that is why, first, just kind of open your eyes.